I'm Juan Punchy Gonzalez. I'm the front of house sound engineer for Symphony X. You're catching me on the back end of sound check where we have to strip this entire thing down. Because as a co-headlining bill, this poor gentleman right here has to set this drum kit up twice a day, and we also have to set up the mics and the cables twice every day as well, which makes it really exciting. So as you can see, what we do is I use a lot of Shure stuff. I got the Beta 52 that goes on the gong drum. I got a D112 that goes on the kick drum, because you can get right up against the beater and you get it real nice snap out of the kick drum. This 57, I put a big piece of white tape and I make little notes to the drummers just for fun. And I figure if you can anger a drummer, he hits it harder. So it says, "You suck, you jackass," even though he doesn't. He's really, really good. And then use the E604 across the toms, because you want to have even the same kind of mic across all the toms. You get the kind of same sound. So, and then over here, Nady gives me the CM90, and I use the CM90s for overheads, and I use them for ride and hi-hat as well. And then 604s on the octobans, and again, a 604 on the bottom snare. And between that combination of microphones, we get the sound that we got out of the drum set. 57s on guitars, bass rig has a DI box, and then 58s across the front for vocals. Unfortunately, they're not set up because we're tearing down. but yeah, your basic Shure Sennheiser combination, you get this really, really great, crystal clear, transparent sound, and we're really, really pleased with it. So, and that's what we got for mics. And then if you give me a chance, we'll go to front of house and we'll take a look at my console. Hi, it's Juan Punchy Gonzalez again, and here I am with the X32. The folks at Behringer were nice enough to loan us a console for the tour, and not only do we do front of house work with it, but we also mix the monitor, in-ear monitors for Russell. So as you can see, I switch between his left and his right ear. He gets a full pan of the drum kit, as well as the ambient mics, which we set up here, a couple of Rode NT series ambient mics, and that's what he's hearing. That's how he hears the audience. So it's again, it's a really great console. It's got all the effects. We set this up every day. We take a board mix off of the console every day and we mix it. I set up a little video camera here and we mix the two things together and we get a little, you know, our own private bootleg. We have scenes that we keep from like last night, that kind of thing. Now, the wild card every night is going to be whether or not we're in full range left and right, or if we have left, right subs and front fills. So for tonight, for instance, we have just that. We have subs, front fills, and a left and right setup. And then of course there's also another wild card, which is a matrix for the balcony send. So in the effects, I'm able to have a left and right graphic EQ, and then I have a graphic EQ for the front fill and a graphic EQ for the subs. And then of course we have parametric graphic EQs that go per each one of the outputs as well. So every day we got both Eddie and I have to set up, and we listen to music so we can familiarize ourselves with what the PA in the room sound like. And if we get it to a flat level to where we're comfortable with it, then the rest of the channel should just line up and it should be the right sound. The only thing you have to mess with at that point is individual gain per channel based on how loud the room is. That kind of thing. Some rooms naturally gravitate towards guitars, some rooms naturally gravitate towards cymbals and snare drums and that kind of thing. So you have to adjust accordingly. So then of course if the room is really packed, then you have to adjust accordingly for high end, because there's more people absorbing high end, or treble, if you will. But this console gives a tremendous amount of flexibility, and we have all the outputs that we need, and 32 channels is just exactly what we need for the show. So it works out really, really well. And then of course I have my little fan, which is important. You have to have the LED fan, the LED light, and the fan. Without that, the show wouldn't happen. It's really important. So, and there you go, the X32. This is a really great console, and again, the folks at Behringer were kind enough to loan it to both Overkill and Symphony X for the tour. So it's very, very happy to have it. For front of house, for intros for Symphony X, I use a piece of software called SoundPlant. SoundPlant is a $35 piece of shareware which allows you to assign a sample to each one of the keys on the keyboard, and you can play up to 8 at a time. So I have the intro on the space bar, and then I have their outro on the enter key. So at the end of the night, once I roll intro, I just hit space bar and I don't look at my playback anymore, and it automatically just shuts itself off. And since it works off the native sound card off of the I have a little USB thing to headphone jack. There's nothing special about that. It's like $5. Since it uses that, then if I were to push play on Windows Media Player at the same time, the two pieces of software will play simultaneously. They don't compete for ownership of the audio card like an ASIO driver device would. So it allows me to, when I was mixing sound for Nile, we used to play these massive gongs, and I would do all the gongs from front of house on the sampler. And so I would hit all these gongs, and while the gongs are fading out, I've already pushed play on Windows Media Player, and the outro music is rolling, and it just happens to work within itself. So it's very handy. It's like 35 bucks for the piece of software. It's called SoundPlant, and it's shareware, so you buy one license and you can put it on as many PCs as possible. It doesn't work on Mac.
This is Mike Pinella from Symphony X, and you are geeking out to Gear Gods. Yamaha Motif 7, awesome board. I've been using it. I'll never use anything else.
What else? Rosewood fretboard, I'm sorry, maple neck. Over here we have Mike Romeo's signature model. This is the MJR3.